This week on Kentucky Afield, we're in the eastern part of the state conducting a research project on elk.
They will get ear tags for us to be able to identify the animal.
And we're using a helicopter to do it. Next, a can't-miss fishing opportunity in the state of Kentucky is the White Bass Run.
Oh, here we go. This might be a little better one here.
And it's right around the corner. Then, if you want to have a great time catching bass this spring, you might want to throw a jerkbait.
Look at that. That's a good one. Look at the head on that fish, the mouth.
That's exactly what we're doing on Cedar Creek Lake. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb floated with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl. Hey, boy. That's a big rabbit. Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first muskie. Mercy Leo!
Yeah, look at it. It's a keeper.
Here it goes. Boom! Wow, that happened fast. Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Maintaining the largest elk herd east of the Mississippi takes a lot of dedication and a lot of work, and sometimes some specialized tools like a helicopter.
Today we're in eastern Kentucky in our elk management zone. We are capturing elk with a helicopter this week. The purpose of what we're trying to do is we are evaluating our cow reproduction rates and our calf survival. So when we look at the population monitoring and what we do as a department, it's very important for us to know what % of our cows are pregnant, and then of those cows that are pregnant, what % of them give birth to a calf, and what is their survival rate.
We've had a long history of elk research here in Kentucky. It goes back to when the first elk stepped off the trailer. It was wearing a radio tracking collar. You know, elk in the east are a new thing, and we're more or less writing our own book on elk management in the east. So this research is critical. It's a big operation. We've got almost 25 people out here today.
We're really excited to be working on this project. The data derived from this will definitely help guide our future management efforts throughout the restoration zone as a whole. This calf survival study in particular is very, very important for us. Calves are the drivers of the population, so it's really important to know how many are living and dying. If anything is killing them, what might that be? What management decisions can we make to help bolster the population? What we're doing today, trapping these adult females, it's all a really important part of it.
So essentially from the process that it works, we have a helicopter capture crew that flies over the elk. They locate and they peel off a single or a double, a calf or a cow. They then shoot a net over the animal. The animal becomes entangled. And then they drop a man out on the ground. They call him a mugger. Goes over to that elk. Puts a blindfold on them, hobbles their legs together, gets the net off, puts them in a flight bag. He would then radio the helicopter crew.
She's all bagged up, Edge.
The helicopter comes back in, drops a rope, hooks the elk up to the rope, and then they fly the elk to us. So they do everything in the field, capture, process, and prepare them for flight, and then they bring them to us,
When we're slinging these animals from where they're captured to our drop zone locations, which may be up to 1 mile or 2 miles from where we're set up working the animals, the helicopter crew, they position the animal in there in such a way that it keeps its internal organs safe, keeps its spine aligned properly, so we can minimize our risk for injury during the transportation process.
So once the elk lands, the first thing we want to do is make sure that it's in good physical condition from the capture. We immediately check a temperature to make sure that they're not too hot.
We'll transport the animals down to our workup facility where we've got separate teams ready to take care of each animal.
First thing we do at the processing facility is check temperature again, make sure they're at a good healthy level, that they're able to be immobilized. At that point, we do immobilize them. We wait for the immobilization drugs to put them fully asleep, and then we begin the workup process.
During the workup process, we'll draw blood from the animals to look at its overall health.
They will get ear tags for us to be able to identify the animal. They will get a GPS collar that will allow us to track that animal through the life of the collar or the life of the animal. We collect hair for genetic analysis. We will also do just a total assessment of the body, looking at fat deposition and fat contents on the animal, just overall condition.
We'll actually give them a numbing injection and we'll pull one of their front incisors and we'll send those off to a lab and they can tell us essentially how old the animal is by counting the rings inside the tooth, kind of like aging a tree.
So my role here is to ensure the health and safety of the animals that we are catching for this project. We have an anesthesia tech on each animal, making sure that they are having appropriate levels. I'm right there with them the whole time, making sure everything's good. We're really working hard to make sure these animals are safe while they're immobilized.
The animals do have a winter coat on, so if they come in just a little bit warm, we'll dump water on them or take other measures to make sure we get their temperature under control and we're doing everything safely and humanely as possible.
We've got another one on the way.
So during the workup process too, you'll see us consistently trying to move the animal around. We're just trying to make sure that it remains in a safer position, and particularly with its head, we'll try to make sure that it's upright and in a natural position the best it can. That allows the animal to breathe sufficiently. When the helicopter crew is bringing us animals, they typically will bring them into us 2 or 3 animals at a time. We do this for a couple reasons. Generally, we don't want to stress and herd too much. We have very firm, established chase times so that they're not stressed out too much. It gives us time to really pay attention to each and every animal that comes in to make sure that they get through this process safely.
Part of this project is with the University of Kentucky. We have 2 graduate students that are on the project to help with the data analysis and the data composition.
So I'm really excited to be a graduate student at UK working on this project with KDFWR, because I get to start to answer some of the questions that you all have and we all have about the elk herd here.
We're looking at several management-focused questions in our research. So first off, we just want to know how much space these animals are using on the landscape. We can get that information from the collar data.
This winter capture season here of adult elk is really kind of the precursor that sets us up nicely for our summer elk calf captures, where we'll be putting small transmitters on them and tracking them through their first year of life. So this time around we get to do an ultrasound to check her pregnancy status to see if she is pregnant or not. And then if she is pregnant, we'll insert a transmitter and that will give us a notification of when she gives birth so that we can more easily go out and find that calf.
Here's the transmitter that we put into the pregnant cow.
So this elk's had the workup complete. She's wearing a new radio collar, some fresh ear tags, and has a vaginal implant transmitter, and we've given her the reversal to the drug. And so here in about 5 or 10 minutes, she'll get off and head up the mountain.
Spring is about here and the dogwoods are about to bloom. You know what that means? It's time to start catching white bass. The white bass are running. Let's walk down into the Salt River and see if anyone's having any luck. You got a black crappie on there. some white bass. Where are you from?
Lawrenceburg.
Lawrenceburg. What's your name?
James Whitehouse.
James Whitehouse. So I'll tell you what, there's nothing like getting down here in the spring and just walking the banks. Because it is the best time of year to get out and fish. You're throwing a little pink Popeye, and that's how you're catching them.
Last 2 days, only thing I've hit.
It's really amazing because people have their techniques and the way they like to catch them, but you're catching them up, you're probably drifting about 2 feet below or 3 feet, something like that. So have you seen quite a few other people through here fishing lately?
Well, yesterday, a bunch of people. One guy stood right there, the pink Popeye, he called about every 3rd or 4th cast.
So how many years you been coming down here and fishing?
Ever since you've been in here.
So you're originally from Lawrenceburg?
No, I'm from Boyle County.
So now Boyle County, the Dix River also has white bass.
I caught them up there too.
Okay, so you've traveled the state catching these early fish.
I caught a world of these things.
Well, I really do appreciate your time. Thank you and good luck. That's a heck of a stringer you got. Saw guy. That guy's been telling us he wanted to catch one. He just figured it out. Here we go. Little male. Now I'll tell you, I made about 10 casts right here. I was letting it bounce the bottom and every now and then getting hung up, so I decided to speed the retrieve up. Now these fish, when they're ready to feed, can be really aggressive. We'll see if that holds true. I'll cast out a little further and burn it a little faster back in. Here we go. I'll tell you right now, these fish are wanting this bait aggressive. And if I can get it out there, it's really, really hard because, you know, we're fishing early year conditions. But we gotta understand, these are fish that like the cold weather. They really want this bait fast today. What is that? Oh, he caught him a saw guy. Look at that. You know, you never know what you're gonna catch come out here. See guys with a stringer full of crappie. We've seen a guy with a stringer full of white bass, and now look at that, saw guy. Those are good ones too. You can't beat that.
Oh man, I'm happy.
Oh, here we go. This might be a little better one here. Now I don't know what we've got, but this is not a white bass. Whatever we've got is not happy to be hooked. This is a white bass. Now. At first glance, I thought this was a white bass, but this is actually a hybrid. These fish are all moving up here kind of at the same time. Boy, that's a lot of fun. Taylor's Lake has a bunch of hybrids. They were put in here by the department many years ago to deal with the amount of bait, the fish that are in this lake. And this is a bait fish eating machine right here. I have got me a little honey hole all of a sudden. It's all about finding the pace and the speed that they want it. This is the 3rd or 4th one I've caught this size. And what this is a male white bass. White bass, like a lot of other fish species, what they'll do is the males will show up first. So these males will run up this river stream, and when you start catching the smaller ones, typically you either need to go toward the main lake, try to catch the females, or fish that same spot in a few days after a hard rain. The bigger fish will show up. This is definitely a male white bass. This is the greatest thing about fishing in this river. You've got so much walk-in access. There's a boat ramp, you can run a boat right up in here. Or this might be the easiest and best way right here. You just jump in a kayak. They can pull that thing up anywhere on the bank that they want and catch a fish. It's a great way to go about it. You guys had any luck?
I caught a little flathead earlier, but
oh, really?
We literally just got in. We ain't been on the water maybe 10 minutes.
A flathead?
Yeah.
Wow.
Off the crank or off the jerkbait.
Never know. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Might have another hybrid. These species of fish fight like crazy. Now this is a white bass. Hey, you're getting a little bit bigger. And when you get out here and you fish this, sometimes, you know, people will swear on a certain color. And for me, you know, sometimes it does seem like certain colors maybe work better on certain days. I always tend to like white or this pearl color, and then I'll change up the head color. And for whatever reason, it seems like pink is what they're hitting today. There you go, he's got one down there.
There we go.
Same size fish. These are plenty big enough to clean and eat if you wanted to make a mess. To get that cast out there, you really need a rod and reel that will allow you to make long casts. This is a medium action with an extra fast tip, 7 foot 4 inches. And I sometimes even use a longer one. I'm throwing 4 to 6 pound test. I can't remember what's on there, but you really want to be able to rip real long cast. This bait here is only an 1/8 ounce. So making a cast right and get to the middle is really the most important part of this, is getting the bait out there where the fish are at. Our lake waters are beginning to warm, and that means it's the perfect time of year to get out a jerkbait. So today we're out here with Bradley Roy on Cedar Creek Lake, right here in central Kentucky. Hey, you don't live far from this lake, and this is a lake that for you say you like to use for kind of a preparatory lake.
Absolutely. You know, it's full of big fish, which, you know, we all know that. It's a great place to fish, but it's got a lot to offer. You know, we got a little bit of riprap shoreline, we got some offshore cover, we got timber, there's grass in this place. So you really can fish what you want to fish. And if I'm going somewhere in the country where it's got grass, I'll come down here and fish the grass a little bit. So it's really a neat place. Even though it's a small lake, it's got a lot to offer.
Today is really to go out, kind of like what you do for a living, figure out a pattern and hopefully put some fish in the boat.
Absolutely, figure it out as we go. It's March, these fish are as fat as they're going to be all year, but you got a chance to catch, you know, maybe the biggest fish of your life. So that's why we're here. Cedar Creek's a great place to, it's a great place to fish, because even if you're not getting a lot of bites, you know, your opportunity to catch a good one, you know, say you only catch 5, your odds of getting one of those to be a really good fish is pretty high. Uh-oh, there's one. There we go. Yep. I saw that thing hit. Feels like a good one too. There you go. Cedar Creek special. That's exactly right. Why you come here right there. Look at that. That's a good one. Look at the head on that fish, the mouth. He really got it too. I was worried they might not like that color, but maybe I'll throw that color a little more. I tell you what, I just made my 3rd cast with a color that ain't too far off from that. I wasn't sure what you were throwing, so I'm glad they like it. In this lake, it's one fish over 20 inches, and that fish is going to be right at it. This fish is going to be real close. I mean, fish is at least 19. That's what I call Cedar Creek special. You know, just a 4-pound class fish. Place is full of them. Anytime you come down here and you figure out how to get a few bites, you're usually going to catch a handful of these right here. Yeah. Uh-oh, here we go. I believe this one's of the smaller variety, but it's a bite. Yeah, it is a fish. It sure is. They got to start somewhere, don't they? Hey. You got to have all age classes, and I'll take anything I can get. Shoot, yeah. And it's just cold. There you go. He'll grow up. A little largemouth. And this is really perfect conditions for a jerkbait. You've got pretty high sun, so they can see it. They can get a good contrast when they're looking up at that bait, because we're definitely throwing this over top of their heads. Oh yeah. And then you got the wind, which is refracting on the top of the water, and it's just it breaks up that sunlight. There's one. That's a pretty good fish. A little better fish, yeah. There you go. You got a little moss on there, and he still ate it up. Said, I'll take that. Yeah. Like you say, it's a free, easy meal. Just got to let those fish are so cold. You see how white they are? They're just starting to swim in there. He's just coming up here trying to find him something to eat and get ready to spawn. So much fun. A lot of the professional fishermen, they all have their different techniques that they're kind of known for. What's your favorite technique? If you had a way to catch them, somebody said you get to pick your way, what would it be? If I could pick a way, it would definitely be, you know, pitching and flipping. Yeah, okay. I kind of pride myself in being versatile. Yeah. Now, a jig would be one that you could get hard-headed with and probably catch fish anywhere. But if I want to do well on several different places, I've got to be able to throw, you know, a lot of different stuff. Here we go. Yep, that's a good one too. Just come off of that road bottom there. Oh, that's a good fish.
Here we go. That is really shallow in there, and I was hitting the bottom and it was sticking and bouncing, and I pulled it up and that fish was laying down there super shallow on that road bed. Very similar in your fish, not quite as heavy, but big mouth. Probably right about 19 inches long or so, if I had to guess.
That's what we come here for.
Yep, that's exactly right.
There's a couple different reasons I do it on a spinning rod. Number one, back when I started throwing a jerkbait, I just threw it on a spinning rod. I just got comfortable with it. And then as I grew older and started throwing them on a bait caster and a spinning rod, I actually liked having both because, you know, your arm gets tired once you go to the other side.
You got a fish on?
Yeah, he's got me hung up in that tree. Swim out there.
That looks like the other ones, that's maybe a little bigger.
Come here. Yeah. That's maybe a little better. Jerkbait again. I think we made a good call coming to the clear water. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And the interesting thing is that we can almost see where we started out. It was just, in some of these creek channels, you can get in and all of a sudden you can see a dramatic change in the water color. And we just got outside in the clearer water and lo and behold, we're starting to get bites.
I know.
You're catching good fish, man. Oh, there we go.
That is a good fish, isn't it?
He hit that right at the boat almost.
Looks like a big fish.
You wanted to get under the boat, didn't you? Come here, buddy. We got a look at you. There you go. We'll take it. That thing, I don't know what depth we're setting in, but he would come up from about that deep.
Setting at 14.
You know, if we were fishing a lake that had a 15-inch size limit, like many of them do, we'd be setting, I don't know, 15, 16 pounds or so.
At least.
You know, and because it is a small lake, and we're talking about 800 acres, so it's not like it's a really big lake. It's a great place to come if you've got an afternoon.
Absolutely.
You don't want to come out here and burn $100 in fuel to go find them. It's a really good opportunity to get out and fish an afternoon or go fish a morning and try to catch a couple fish.
Like I said, yeah. Feels like a good one too.
There he comes. Wow, that's a really good fish.
It's a really big one. You want to grab him?
Yeah. A pair of big girls. There you go. Look at that. Hey, we talked about the possibility of catching a 6 or 7 pounder.
That's what we did.
And you know what? On a spinning reel, you finesse that thing up here, and sure enough, you got him.
I told you guys I had it paused, felt just like a jig bite. And then they got that jerkbait across the mouth.
That is a good fish, my friend. You got a scale in here?
I do. And look, I want you to look how pretty that fish is.
I'm gonna guess that fish weighs, what do you think? I'm gonna say 6.2.
I'm gonna say 6, yeah. Yep, 608, that's what she weighs.
When's the best time to fish throw a jerkbait? We're talking March and April or in the fall?
Absolutely. You know, anytime, I think once that water temperature bottoms out, we get it as cold as we're gonna get it, and you first start to see it start coming up, that's when these big fish start looking up, and they're looking for that slow, lethargic shad that they can get an easy meal. They're just trying to get ready for that spawn coming in a month or so. And she was waiting on a jerkbait.
Nice job. Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here we have Lane Bennett from Ohio County with his first buck ever, a nice 9-pointer. Congratulations. Here we have a beautiful 11-point buck taken by Emmy Corrigan in Scott County, Kentucky. Nice job. Elena Matney is looking forward to spring so she can look for morel mushrooms like these that she found in 2020. Here we have Jackson Ramey with his first buck, a nice 10-pointer that he took in Breckenridge County on opening day. Here's a beautiful buck that was taken in Ohio County by Malaya Lindsay. This is a 10-pointer. It was taken with a .243 rifle. Nice job. Here we have Addison Heidelberg with a big bluegill that was caught in a farm pond. Nice fish. Here we have Cole Clayton's first buck, a nice 9-pointer that was taken in McLean County. Here we have Caden Schreiber's first deer, a nice spike taken in Hopkins County, Kentucky. Congratulations. Here we have Jerry and Weston Miller and Hoss Williamson with a load of bunnies that were taken in Graves County. Nice job. Abel Fields knows where to find winter fun. That's at Otter Creek catching rainbow trout. Check out these great looking crappie with Harper Purnell that were caught in Green River Lake. Nice fish. Just a reminder, your 2020 hunting and fishing license have now expired, but your 2021 license are available for purchase. Please visit fw.ky.gov or go to your local retailer to pick up your new one. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water. Let's go.
More Kentucky Afield is available at your fingertips. Whether by smartphone or computer, you'll find exclusive content and behind-the-scenes videos on our social media pages. Give us a like or follow to stay in the woods and on the water longer when you subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Kentucky Afield on your favorite app.